I think, can anybody tell if we're on yet?
Yeah, we're on.
Hello out there. It's Brian Terrian from the Disability Digest with Elle and Jam, and welcome to our YouTube Live today.
Yay!
Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Kathleen, welcome. So we have a special event here today. I have convinced Jam and Elle to cover a couple of topics that they know well. So we're going to go through that and then, of course, answer your questions. And Jam has put a survey in the chat if you would be kind enough to answer that. So for those of you that are new or welcome back here at the Disability Digest, we do these live events typically every Wednesday to cover topics that are targeted towards helping you get your benefits, keeping your benefits, and maximizing your benefits. And so if you like the work that we do and you feel like in the holiday mood and you want to help somebody out, maybe give them a gift, give this a share. Send it out there to others that are out there so they can benefit from it. Yeah. Carlos, Cheryl, James, Marvin, welcome. So great. So let's get that we're going to cover today. We're going to go through the basic fundamentals of what it takes to get your disability benefits approved and to keep them, right? And then the second thing we're going to go through is a new idea, well, maybe not new to you, but new that we presented for you to supplement your income, do a side hustle. We've had a lot of comments and feedback from our members that are getting pinched with inflation and just looking for a way to survive. So this is something we believe that a lot of people can do. So we hope you enjoy the show. Did I miss anything? Oh, at the end, we're going to answer some questions. So if you've got individual questions regarding the approval process, getting, keeping, all that. Good. Okay, so let's see. Jam drew the short straw and is going first today, right? So what Jam is going to cover is the process of getting your Social Security disability benefits approved. And it's also the same process for keeping your benefits when you get your continuing disability review. I'm going to put up on my screen a diagram that we're going to work with. So hopefully everybody can see my screen, and Jem is going to walk us through this from a graphic perspective with an explanation. Thank you, Jen, in advance.
Yeah. Sure. So I don't think it's showing. Okay.
No? Is it?
All right. I see it.
Okay.
Okay, so hi guys, my name is Jam, as many of you guys know me. So if you want to receive Social Security disability benefits, the first thing you should do is visit a doctor. And in the worst case scenario, you are in so much pain and you are unsure of what is wrong with you. So you go to the nearest ER. And so let's use the condition fibromyalgia as an example. You then describe your symptoms to the doctor. For example, you have pain and stiffness all over your body, decreased energy, depression, anxiety, sleeping problems, problems with thinking, memory, and concentration, including headaches and migraines. So doctors try to rule out physical problems that could cause your symptoms using the patient's history, physical examination, lab tests, specifically tender point tests. And the main factor needed for fibromyalgia diagnosis is widespread pain throughout your body for at least 3 months. So your next step, so you get your diagnosis. Your next step is getting treatment. Medication and self-management techniques are effective ways to treat and manage fibromyalgia. The focus is on reducing symptoms and enhancing overall health. While there isn't a single cure for all symptoms, using a number of approaches can help in the long run. So rheumatologists, medical specialists who specialize in treating fibromyalgia and other forms of arthritis should be entrusted with the treatment of fibromyalgia. Doctors typically use a mix of therapies to treat fibromyalgia, which may include medicines such as over-the-counter analgesics and prescription medications. And that includes numerous treatments that can lessen the impact that fibromyalgia has on your body and your life. So treatment includes exercise for muscle growth and aerobic fitness. So now we're talking about physical therapy, occupational therapy, also classes on patient education, typically in settings such as primary care or the community. And that includes stress reduction methods, including yoga, meditation, and massage. Also healthy sleeping practices that enhance sleep quality. And lastly, CBT, which stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, used to treat depression. So CBT is a form of conversation therapy intended to alter how individuals behave or think, because depression is highly associated with fibromyalgia and also concentration issues like cognitive issues. So Brian, I'm seeing your screen.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to add a point for those of you that suffer from fibromyalgia and are going through the process. There is a specific test that Social Security has that's up on the screen, and it's called a tender point test. It's got all this complicated language up here, but the condensed version is this test allows Social Security to recognize the severity of the condition, and it's conducted typically by a rheumatologist or pain management. And they have a process of applying pressure on these points that you see in the front and the back here. And based on your reaction to the test, allows them to gauge your severity. So if you are, I see Kathleen is chiming in, was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. This is something that is like a game changer for your approval process to help Social Security understand it. So if you haven't done that, you can contact us and we can get you this regulation and other tips to get approved. So that was great, Jam. Thanks so much for that. So let's just go back. I'm going to pull the diagram back up so we can do a recap here, right?
Yeah. So you get your diagnosis, you get your treatment. Now, suppose you don't have a condition that hasn't been properly identified and you're unaware of what it is. If you don't know what it is, you can move on to step 2, which is getting medical treatment. And the second step is to have them treated in accordance with Social Security regulations. So Social Security requires documented limitations in order to approve somebody. And when you communicate, it's not only about your conditions, it is also about your limitations. And for example, you may say you can only stand or walk for 30 minutes, for up to 30 minutes at a time due to the chronic pain, stiffness, and numbing that you're experiencing throughout your body. Also, a gallon of milk is too heavy for you to lift. You can no longer push or pull. You keep dropping items, so that prompts that you have problems with your grip and your stamina has deteriorated. And everything needs to be supported by your medical records. And it will be hard to get approved if your medical records are a sham. Okay, so to review the flow chart, diagnosis is your first step. Second step is doctor treatment. Third is limitations backed up by your medical records. And that is how you will get and keep your disability benefits.
Boom, love it.
Wonderful.
So
Thank you.
all of you out there participating, again, welcome. There's lots of seats up in the front. You can move forward so you can get a closer view. The most important thing that I want to just dial down on this wonderful presentation, and by the way, Jam did the graphics for this, so give her a shout out.
Yay, Jam!
Yay, Jam.
Thank you, guys.
anybody that is trying to get or is receiving has one key area, in my opinion, that they should focus on out of the three that we have here, right? Which one do you think it is?
Being treated.
Yeah.
Getting a firm diagnosis for your condition.
They're all important.
Yeah, saying treatment is a key.
That's true. But I think I can't argue with that. But what my point is, limitations is if you have treatment for a condition, but your treatment doesn't communicate your limitations, when Social Security looks at your medical records, they could be misinformed. So the point that I want to make to everybody is when you're going to your doctor's visits, trying to get approved or already approved, is like Jam had mentioned, gallon of milk, taking steps. These are the things that you want to continue to stay tuned into here so that you have like disability insurance and you understand exactly what to do. Yeah.
Elaboration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything else on this?
Elaborate on the limitations and not so much on the condition, basically.
Exactly. Exactly. For those of you out there listening, if you have questions on the first part of this presentation, we're going to take some questions here in a minute. So feel free to put those in. So we're moving from medical to money. Money. So Al has prepared some information for you. I'm thinking maybe I can pull a prop up here and put it on the screen. I'll find one while you get started, but let me just give you a proper intro.
Okay.
What Al is going to share with you is something that I believe everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people could do. It's flexible. You can do it on your own time, your own schedule, which fits into a higher probability of success. And maybe some of you are doing this already out there to supplement your income. So what we're going to talk about today is donating plasma, right? How it works, what is it, how it works, etc. And then we have a takeaway for you. I just need to find it. Over here, we've gone through and created some companies. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll just pull up this one right here, and then we can start with like, what is plasma? How does this work? Let's start with that, El.
Okay. So plasma is the liquid component of your blood that contributes to 55% of your blood's total volume. Plasma is necessary to help your body recover from injury, distribute nutrients, remove waste, and prevent infection while moving throughout your circulatory system. So your donation helps patients who need plasma-derived biotherapies to improve or save their lives. Those in need are suffering from life-threatening conditions such as hemophilia, immune deficiencies, and other blood disorders benefit from your plasma donation.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but I think I nailed it on the website example, right? Plasma donation changes lives, one donor at a time, like this down here. All right, I'll stop promoting myself and move on. So are there, like, who can do this? Are there any limitations? How's that work?
Yeah. So anyone who passes the qualifying and screening requirements and is in excellent health is in between the ages of 18 and 75. They weigh at least 110 pounds, has had no recent tattoos or piercings within the last 4 to 6 months, has a valid ID, permanent resident, can donate plasma. So if you're a regular if you donate blood, if you have regular blood donations in the past, that can be beneficial as well, but not necessarily required to donate plasma.
Mhm.
But if you've had any viruses such as HIV or HTLV, which is human lymphotropic, which is some form of what's the name of that cancer?
Lymphoma?
Yeah. If you've had that, if you've had organ transplant, or if you have hepatitis B, you are not able to donate plasma.
I have a few questions / examples.
Okay.
So somebody with a bad back, right? I don't, they have just chronic pain, they're not able to work, right? Would they fall into the excellent health category?
Yes, they would.
And what about Jam's example of somebody that has fibromyalgia? I don't hear anything there that might disqualify them.
Disqualifying conditions would include viruses that you can pass on to other people.
Okay, so, all right, so it's pretty widespread. So excellent, the term excellent health is pretty broad.
Yeah, it is pretty broad.
Yeah.
But
okay, cool. All right. So let's see. So we've talked about like who can't do it.
Yeah.
And we get an idea of who can do it. I think ultimately somebody's gonna have to take some action and find out if they can. But like, what's the process? Like, do you have any idea like what's involved? Is it like, I don't like to give blood. I don't like to go to the dentist even. I mean, is it uncomfortable? Do we have any idea about that? And maybe other people out there, if you're donating plasma, we'd love to hear, your comments.
Okay, so it takes about 35 minutes to donate one bag or 700 milliliters of plasma. So your blood is collected out of your vein in one of your arms. A machine separates your plasma from your red blood cells. And basically, once the plasma is removed from your blood, it's then put back into your body. So that's the process of donating plasma.
All right. So it's a needle in your arm, and you've given us kind of the scientific type thing. Takes 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to get on to the money part, but I'll hold my questions on that. Interesting. So I see there's some questions in there. We'll address those afterwards. We'll keep going with this. And Elle has prepared for everybody, and I'll put the link in the chat when we're done here, like different companies and places. But can you speak to like, is this pretty widespread opportunity for people? I mean, is it like some areas? Like I know in Vermont you can go, like it's pretty rural here, but I know there's places.
Okay, so I've provided the link to the websites. There are various locations. I'm pretty sure Griffiths has several locations in Florida, but you can, once you visit the website, you put in your location and you'll get the nearest donation center to you.
Okay. So it's as simple as that. I don't know if they have any in this area, but oh, look, boom. Doesn't look like they do, but again, I'm in a rural area. But you can put in your zip code and it will show you like this particular company, and there's several of them where there are donation locations, right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yep. So there's, and if that company, this is the top company on the list in this document that we prepared for you, if that company is not in your area or doesn't pay like the others, I guess, then you could go on to somebody else, right? Okay. So how, like they show on this website back here, when I was on it, like making $800, like how's the money work? That's I don't expect that's for just one 30-minute visit.
Okay. I think a lot of misconceptions about the payment, because I've done a lot of research and I've watched some YouTube channels and stuff, and I think people think that if you donate once, you get $800, but really, when you hear up to, it means it's based on how many times you donate. So you have the potential to earn up to $1,000 a month, but each donation is about $25 to $60 per session. And
Okay.
there are also some referral bonuses associated with each donation center. I've provided that as well in the plasma report. You can see Octapharma has a plasma referral program for $100. ProMedic Plasma has a referral for $50, and Griffless has a buddy bonus referral program as well. And if you donate to CSL Plasma Center, you get $100 on your first donation, and you can earn up to $75 each time you donate to BPL Plasma.
So they're really looking to have you donate and then refer others. I am curious about the income. Do they pay you, or do we know about this? Do they pay you like a gift card, or is it, I believe in one of these, I was informed that there's like a debit card they load.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, once you sign up, you get the debit card, and that's where you get paid. And it takes about 24 hours for each payment to be processed. So yeah, you have the specific card and you just go to the ATM and withdraw it.
All right. And did we talk about how often you can do this?
You can donate plasma twice every 7 days, with 1 day in between each donation.
Okay, so if it's $25 to $60, let's say it's $40 per donation, right? And you can do that every 7 days?
Yeah, twice in 7 days, but you have to have a day in between.
Okay, so basically my math tells me that's like $80 a week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I saw where some people, I wasn't sure, but I saw through a Google search that some people have donated 3 times a week. So it may depend on your health and your weight. So there may be some variations on how many times you can donate.
All right. So let's say it's $80 a week. That's $320. I mean, that's certainly would take the edge off, and then you refer somebody. Makes a difference. Good. Did I miss anything? Anything else that you think is important to cover?
Well, it does sound, I don't think it sounds attractive to most people. It doesn't sound attractive to me either, but I think it's a really lucrative thing to take on, because you really do not much. And don't get discouraged if you don't earn as much as you want to. Just give them a call and get yourself comfortable with the process. And just get yourself comfortable with the process. It's a great avenue to take on. I've seen YouTube videos and confessionals of persons who earn $2,000 a month, and I'm like, what? $2,000, like, So I mean, it's all depending on you and how much you donate and what you want to, what you want to earn.
And people you refer.
And people you refer your friends.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we focus on here, this is consistent with, is making money while making a difference, and this certainly is one of those things, right? Because this can help people. Great. I am going to put in the chat this link. Let me just clean it up a little bit here. I'm going to remove this one, and then we can, you folks can have a look at it. Also, if you're watching the replay and you don't get this, it's in the show notes below. Okay. So let's move on, pivot. I see there's some questions that have been coming in, so we can start with the questions. Jim, if you would. Also, I would be curious what the survey results are.
Well, we have 58 votes now, and 18% have not yet applied. 16 have applied and been denied. 31% applied and waiting for a decision. 35% are approved.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay,
I
so
just put the link in there. Yeah, let's answer some questions.
okay, so this is more like a statement, but I'm just gonna read it. This is from Wade. Way deep inside, I have telephone appointments next week, both disability and spousal.
Disability, and what was the second one?
Spousal.
Sounds like applying for disability. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there a question or
Also,
that's just a statement? If there's a question, let us know.
okay.
Make sure you have all your information. That's one tip. I'm just
Okay.
actually, it won't be out in time, but there's a checklist of things that you are required to provide to Social Security. And you can find it online by Social Security Disability Checklist. If you can't find it, contact us.
Okay, and a lot of highs, hellos, and thank you from everyone. Thank you guys for being here with us today. And this is from Tracy Wallace. Brian, thank you and your crew so much for getting me approved. Life is so much better for me and mine.
Thank you.
Hey,
Congrats.
Tracy.
Congrats, Tracy.
Doing my victory dance for you.
All right, this one's from Greta. Currently waiting to be approved. Want to renew my food stamps, and the income portion was auto-filled out for me. Saying source of income is Social Security as 11.4. Did I get approved?
I missed it. I thought it was approved and the check is 11,000 something or 1,100.
They're waiting to be approved.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So what is the actual question?
So she's waiting to be approved. She went to renew her food stamps, and it's saying that her main source, it autofilled and said her main source of income is Social Security as of November 4th. So she wants to know if that means that she has been approved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should check your bank account because that's probably how they find out. There might be like, we just had, I have some award letters up there, but it's common that people get deposits in their bank account before they get notification that they have been approved. So I'd check that out. That's good news.
Right. This one's from Jiga. I've been approved and have went through rehab, but still have limitations such as hemiplegia and spasticity. I also have a home health aide and get Botox every 3 months. Can you do a flowchart? And follow-up question, can you donate plasma after having a stroke?
Al?
Yeah, you can donate plasma after you've had a stroke.
Yeah, I don't, yeah. What would the flow chart be for? Do you have a vibe on that?
I think he's talking about his hemiplegia and spasticity.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that you want to know if your limitations affect your, I'm not sure.
I think you're on the right track. It could be this. If you take fibromyalgia out and put in any other condition, the same flow chart applies.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Brian is great. Doesn't matter that what state you are in, from Tracy Wallace. Okay. Okay, so this one's from Kathleen. So you can earn money doing this?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, Savannah. But even though I can't donate, I can be praying that others can step up and help. This is a statement. JD, a little more rehearsing would be good. you pause so long in between thoughts. Just because you were on disability doesn't mean we don't have time restraints. Gig info, please.
Okay.
So is that directed towards me? Because I pause a lot, probably.
Okay, there's a follow-up. Okay, well, the title of this should have been all about how to donate plasma. I need to know what I am allowed to do for Social Security to make income on the side and not get flagged. Be blessed. Bye.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, it wasn't all about donating plasma because we did cover the approval process, but thank you for the input. For those of you that are wondering about how much money you can make and keep your benefits, that information is readily available. Actually, it's in the show notes. And it's $970 a month this year, and it changes for next year. So just look for that resource, or if you're a member, of course, you can reach out to us.
Yeah, I'm assuming he didn't join when we started.
Mhm.
Okay, so this one's from Michelle. How much money can you make on disability?
Ooh, we just talked about that. Yeah. Yep. So it's $970 a month now, goes to $1,050 a month for 2023, which is
Yep.
the biggest increase that I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay, follow up. If I get a part-time job making below the allotted amount while on SSDI, if I still get my SSDI while working, how long can I work part-time and still get my benefits?
So how long can you work part-time and still get approved? That's the
Yes.
question.
Still keep their benefits.
Well, if you stay below the allowed amount, when I say the allowed amount, that what I've just referenced, you can do that every month. And that's the beauty of it. Not to be confused with other figures that are out there that the trial work puts out. When you go over that $970, you use a trial work month, and you only have a certain amount of those that you can use up. And so you start eating into it. So to take the high road, I just advise people to stay under the allowed amount so you have no impact on any part of your benefits ever. Now that stops when you reach your full retirement age, keep in mind, folks, which is slightly different for everybody. And now they're looking to push it up to 70 years old for folks. But yeah.
I really do have a question about that, Brian, because I saw that. I just wanted to know, what do you think, and how would that benefit, or would it be beneficial, or would it adversely affect those who are currently on SSDI or trying to get on SSDI? What do you think?
That's a really good question. Well, in some ways it would help people, because if you have to wait until age 70 to collect your Social Security income, then you have to wait from what your prior full retirement age was. Let's say it was 67. So you have to wait 3 more years. But if you can access your Social Security by becoming qualified through the disability program, you are getting really your full retirement benefits because of the qualification. So in that sense, always looking on the brighter side of life, it would be better, right?
I don't think that benefits people who aren't on Social Security disability, though.
So the people that aren't on Social Security disability, moving it up to 70, long-term gives the program more viability. But that they don't care about that. They just want their benefits now. So I mean, that's a really good question, Al.
Next question, Jam.
Yeah, so this one's from Gary Newman. Will donating be considered earnings as far as SSDI?
Yes. It would be like, anytime you earn over $600 doing something and you're responsible for reporting your income, filing your taxes. So yeah. Now keep in mind that doing something like that, you have expenses related to it, right? Because you need to get there and whatever else is involved. So you have to back out your expenses.
How does that count as earned income though? Because it's not really earned.
Well, I would say what's not earned income would be, because you're exchanging time for money is really what you're doing, although they are taking plasma out of you.
Okay.
Unless somebody can, say that is like writing a book where you have passive income or insurance royalties or rental income. I don't see that. I see it as you're directly engaged. You need to physically be there to generate that income.
Mhm. This one's from Michelle Martin. When you donate plasma, does it count as income? We answered that. Marvin McBride, does SSA send everyone who applies to have a doctor examine them as part of the approval process?
72% is what I remember from reviewing the budget.
Mhm.
Not everybody.
Okay. Michelle Harris, I think she's talking about the allowed amount. Her question is that net or gross?
So it is if you're working for somebody as an employee, it would be your gross amount. But there are like workplace related expenses that you can still use as an employee. So I'll give you an example. We have a member in Florida who works, but in order to work, she has to get some high powerful shots in her neck that are not covered by her insurance. The cost of those are pretty pricey, and those are necessary for her to be comfortable. So she's able to write those off. An example like that. Yeah. Now, if you're not an employee and you're doing something on your own, then you have all of the, operational function of a business where you have your phone and all the other things that you have, your computer, your internet. Even emotional support animals are able to be used as an expense.
Mm-hmm. This one's from Inspired Faith. I am on STD with my employer. It ends December 30th of this year for chronic anxiety, depression, PTSD. I have been working with doctors and psychologists and counseling. I am ready to apply for SSD.
Great. So we welcome to have you join us as a member here. It's no charge. You get access to the disability approval course, wonderful people like Elle and Jam that will teach you how to use it so that you can go forward and get your benefits approved fast. If you decide that you don't want to do it on your own and you want somebody to do it for you, you get stuck, you get denied, then we can see if there's an option in our resources to help you solve that, find a representative.
Well, now I'm confused. There's a follow-up from Inspired Faith. She stated 2019 was the onset.
Okay, what was the first part of that? Because I'm missing the
She's
question.
on short-term disability with employer for chronic anxiety, depression, PTSD.
Oh, so the onset of the condition may be 2019.
2019.
Yeah, when it was first diagnosed.
Okay, Kathleen Brown, follow-up. Is it long-term, working part-time? And I'm afraid to get a part-time job and lose my benefits even though I'm making below the amount. I need more clarity. I'm 48 years old.
Right.
Also, I'm afraid to get a part-time job. Well, it's the same.
Right. All right. So let's do this because we have a lot of questions on the how much you can make. I'm going to get the regulation. If you could sing for 20 seconds and buy me some time while I get this, that
Go
would.
out.
If you guys want to duet, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Okay, you go, Al.
You want me to sing a song? Buffalo Soldier.
What a sport. Give it up for Al.
Hey. Go Al.
All right. So I'll put this link in the chat, and this covers two things. So there's a video at the top, and the voice in the video sounds a lot like me. But down here, there are two different regulations for people as far as making money, how much you can make and get approved, and how much you can make once you're approved. So because most of the questions are for those that are approved, I'm going to go to this link here. So what this shows you, this is the Social Security regulation, is it explains up here when you've done at least 9 months, not consecutive, within 60 months of work, you are subject to losing your benefits, right? So you're all going to get this so you can read it yourself. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to use any of these 9 months. So the advice that I give people is to stay below the allowed amount so that you don't. Now, if you have a situation where you have to take like some big payload of cash, you know you can do that 9 times, right? So staying below that means this. In 2022, if you're below $970 a month, then you're below the allowed amount. Now, if you are doing something on your own and you're filing your taxes at the end of the year, then it's going to be an average of your earnings, that $970 looked at over the course of the year. If you're an employee going working a job, 10, 12 hours a week, it's based on your monthly earnings. Okay. So I'll put this in the chat. So this has been my experience here. This business was started in 2006, and in 2007, Dennis Berry was our first advocate or individual that worked here and did work similar to what Jam and Elle do. And since then, we've always had a part of our team here, staff, that have been disability recipients. So I know the regulation not only from putting it in the chat, but people haven't lost their benefits or gone to jail, or there hasn't been any overpayments because we keep people within the allowed amount. So just understand the rules. I think it's fantastic that you asked the questions, but I also feel from my own perspective that it's healthy for people to do things, not just for the money, but for the sense of belonging. So hopefully that helps.
How many hours does that translate to, Brian?
Well, they do look good. Question. They do look at part of that criteria, which is not on that website, is 20 hours or less. So you want to keep your hours 20 hours or less and under the allowed amount. Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. How are we doing, Jam?
Good. Multitasking.
All
All right. So next one is from Marvin McBride. Oh, sorry. Okay, Rich B. I went to two doctor appointments for state. I've been over a month. Oh, it's been over a month ago. How long does it usually take?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say 60 days, 90 days after you've gone for an exam. Yep. I'm curious what your online account says. If you've been following it there, it's got that, 80, 90%.
Mm-hmm.
Or 30%. Probably it's not 30 if you've gone for an exam.
Yeah. All right. This one's from Savannah. Just statement. I have to go, but I really appreciate all the information in y'all's time. Take care. This one's from Greta. The Social Security website says I'm at 90% through the approval process, but they state food stamp, PPL already have the information and amount I would receive. I'm thinking I got approved. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Congrats, Greta.
Yeah. I mean, I would start dancing when you get money in the bank, but that sounds really good.
Is that possible to get approved at 90%
I
completed?
mean, 100% is approved, like 100% approved. It may be that they just haven't updated it. They don't do everything like right. So, but that online account typically is pretty accurate.
Okay.
Okay, this was from MC. I have not applied through the want to begin the process. I would like some assistance as I am in need for more information. Where to begin?
Sure. So Jan will put a link to our website in there. Just join us as a member if you haven't already. Go through, complete the evaluation. It'll help us understand where you're at. And then we can direct you through, get the course to you, help you understand how to use it, what your options are. Hopefully slash a bunch of time off your approval process, help you save some time and some money.
All right, so follow up from Kathleen. I'm not working yet, but I want to try. I'm afraid to get part-time job and lose my benefits, even though I'm making below the amount.
I have a great idea. This is a really good topic. I don't feel that getting a job is the best solution for a lot of people, especially if you have apprehension like that. What I would consider doing is, if you're super, concerned about the money, is do some volunteering. All right, go to your local Center for Independent Living. If you don't know how to contact it, then we can help you. And then they have volunteer positions that actually could turn into paid positions. And they are organizations that service like the elderly and people that are on disability. But if you do that, then you've kind of got the engagement piece, and you're demonstrating that, okay, I know I can work 3 to 4 hours a day, 3 days a week. I know I can do that because I'm doing that volunteering. Then you've got some foundation to do. We had somebody just last week, so excited, contacted us. She'd gotten a job. A job lasted like 4 days because she went from zero into an environment where she couldn't hang. It was too much. So hopefully you'll find that helpful.
This one's from Robert. So when one receives SSDI, you receive your full retirement amount or your retirement age amount?
It's like within dollars. And to find out exactly what it is, if you haven't applied yet, you can log into your My SSA account, and it will show you 3 amounts: your 62 amount, your full retirement amount, and your disability amount. The full retirement amount and disability are pretty close.
Okay, so from you there, don't they take the amount you make out of your check?
Amount you make out of your check. That question's not, what amount would they take? You mean Medicare?
Working. I think working. The amount you make out of your check. I'm not sure.
I don't understand that question. If you could provide some more detail, I'll have another shot at it.
Maybe he's asking if he's working, will that money come from his disability check? And the answer is no.
Yeah, so if you're gonna work doing plasma, for sake of example, they're gonna pay you directly. It would be money in addition to your check.
Yeah. Okay, so Rich B, it shows stage 3. I'm in Tennessee.
Stage 3, or is that the disability approval? I only know it as percentages.
No follow-up yet. Okay, Kathleen Brown, are you hiring at the Disability Digest part-time?
Always looking for talented people. And actually, at the beginning of next year, we are going to be having a let's call it a new area of work for our members. So stay tuned.
Mhm. All right. So this was from Bryant McClure. How does backpack
Back
work?
pay.
I think that's back pay. Oh yeah, there's a correction. And how does retroactive pay work?
Pretty good if you get a lot of it, like this award letter that we have right here is gonna receive 45,800 and something dollars in their account within 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, so and applied, I think that's like 7 months ago we started. So you can go back 12 months and get 12 months of back pay. And if you have been out of work for like, 18 months or 20 months, then you're losing money because you can only go back 12 months from when you apply. So that's one. And two, getting all of your back pay, a few things that are important about it is making sure, reflecting back on Jam's presentation, is that you have rock solid evidence with your diagnosis, your limitations, and your medical records that support that you are not able to work because of your condition, going back, as far as possible. So those are a few tips. We have, if you search the YouTube channel for back pay, there's more detailed video about that, but that's a short story and how it works. Mhm.
Right. This one's from Inspired Faith. How would your associates verify who they are? Reason for asking is I've been scammed with personal data over the phone from WhatsApp callers.
Yeah, it's tough. We've had people that have impersonated us. I don't know how to stop it. How do we do that? I mean, right?
I mean, we do have a phone
phone,
number.
Our phone number does say Disability Digest if somebody doesn't, if it's unblocked. So
Yeah.
usually before we call, or if we call, we're going to leave our phone number and our name.
Mhm.
And you can call us back. And if it says Disability Digest, that's a pretty good indication. And it may be either Jam or L or Philip or Daphne or somebody like that that works here.
How
Yeah.
about they have unknown? How about their phones has unknown callers
Yeah.
like blocks?
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. So when somebody joins us as a member, they are provided with a phone number that we would contact them from.
Mhm.
And so encourage people to do that. Now, if you don't know that and you want to be super sure and you're a member here, you can email support at the Disability Digest. Just say, what number are you going to be calling from? And we may even know who would be responsible for calling you back or working with. Okay. Any other ideas on that?
You can join our Facebook group as well.
Join our
Yeah.
Facebook group. Yep.
A lot of our members talk to us through Facebook.
Yep.
This was from Robin. I was denied the first round, although they said I had an impairment, but not severe enough. And why? My doctors don't want to do the paperwork to help, but if they did, I know I would get approved. Now
Mhm.
what?
I wonder, where are you located? If you do a follow-up, that would be great. Well, so there's other strategies to like manipulate your medical records to get your limitations in there. Because if your doctors are not going to do it, it's tough to force their hand unless you're willing to say, I'm going to leave and go to another doctor. I've known that to be successful, or just try again and plead importance. But follow the work that we have done about communicating your limitations, as we talked about in Jam's presentation. Get those in your medical records, because that is not the same thing as your doctor's filling out a RFC, but it's very effective.
All right. This was follow up from Mio there. His question was, do they take the amount you make out of your check? And his follow up is from working.
I don't believe my answer would be any different. Do they take the amount that you make out of your check? So are you saying, I think you might be, I think this might be the question. Are you saying that if you made an extra $100 a month, for example, do they reduce your social security check by $100 a month? If that's your question, the answer is no. Because there is a component of that, like when you're age 62 and you have earnings, and you're not a disability recipient and you've taken your early retirement, there isn't that offset with disability. It's just the regulation that I showed you.
Okay.
Okay, so Kathleen Brown, follow-up, how do you apply for a job at the Disability Digest?
So when you go through, there is an application process. If it hasn't been sent to you as an invite, then you are welcome to ask our support desk.
All right, this one's from Danielle Norwood. Is this you, Al? So, hey, I am in stage 3. I am at 64%. I have chronic heart failure, high blood pressure, and coronary heart disease. What are my chances of getting approved?
Based on what you've told me, I have no idea, because I don't know what the severity is of your conditions and how it limits your ability to work. Biggest problem that disability applicants have is they talk about their conditions, which I could have the same conditions, God forbid, we both do, standing here and maybe still be able to work. I'm exaggerating, but that's my point. But when you communicate, you want to focus, like Jam had mentioned, you know, can you lift a gallon of milk? How many steps can you take? Can you bend? Can you sit? Can you stoop? Can you climb stairs? Can you remember repetitive tasks? Things like that. So with that information, if it's in your medical records, that gives us a better indication of your chances of approval. There's some other factors too, but.
All right, this one's from Mio there. So like when you make money from working, let's say you made $200 from working, does that $200 come out of your disability check?
No, so let me go through it this way. The average disability check here is $1,350 a month. So that person goes to work and is earning $200 a month donating plasma, right? So they keep their $1,350 a month, and their additional income is 100% additional. That $200 a month is just extra.
This one's from BJ. We're meeting her later. Hi, BJ. How does SSI back pay? Was just told my back pay is pending as they determine if I will get SSI back pay.
One more time on that. I didn't quite get it.
How does SSI back pay?
Okay. Well, let me see if this answers the question. When you have SSI or another like benefit that impacts your back pay as workers' compensation, when the benefits are awarded, it goes into Social Security, has a payment center where they analyze what you should be paid. And with SSI or workers' comp, it takes longer to figure out, okay, did we pay BJ any money because she was on SSI while she was going through the disability approval process? And if we did, we need to reduce that out of the back pay. That process, it's slow as it is, but that process slows it down. We have an individual now, I want to say it's like 17 months, Miss Hart, that she still hasn't received her back pay because it's stuck in the payment center and they're trying to figure it out, or they just haven't got to it. It's buried on somebody's desk. So there are some tips to speed that up. So remind us, well, if it's new, it's going to be tough, but if you're 6 or 8 months into it and you're having something like this happen, there's different things that you can do to apply pressure and get attention to it.
Follow up from BJ. I did not receive any SSI at all.
Okay, they're still gonna do the evaluation.
Follow up from Danielle Norwood. I have chronic shortness of breath and interfere with activities of daily living. Been in out of hospital since 2014. I had heart bypass surgery in 2017.
Okay, that's a statement. Just one more thing on BJ. BJ, if you didn't receive any income, but you were receiving Medicaid or SSI, that could still be analyzed by the payment center and cause a delay. So just that. And back on this situation was referencing the conditions. Is that a statement or is there a question in there?
No reply yet.
Yeah, love to hear. Again, it's about the limitations. So if you have those conditions, how does it prevent you from working? Sitting, standing, bending, stooping, remembering repetitive tasks? Does it require you to take multiple naps a day? Can you go to the grocery store with a list of 10 items and come back with all 10? Even I have a hard time doing that.
So this one's from Kathleen. Can you make a video on budgeting on a fixed income of SSDI? I've searched YouTube for such videos and feel like no one really gets it. Budgeting in 2022 to 2023 with a fixed SSDI income seems impossible.
Budgeting on a fixed income. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, how about this idea? If you have done some work and some research on it, you can come on out and talk to our group about what it is, or I could ask you the questions.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Love to hear from you. And would be glad to send you a thank you to help you out with your budget for doing so. Yep.
Okay. Robert Wolf, what is your Facebook page name?
L, or you want to put it in?
Oh, I did put it in the comments, but it's Disability Benefit Approval Assistance. I'm going to send Jam the link.
Okay. All right. Robert Wolf, what are limitation examples for depression and anxiety? I'm confused of what limitation actually means.
So a common limitation for depression is lack of ambition, sleeping, staying in bed, not socializing. You've changed your lifestyle patterns. Oftentimes with depression, people are irritable. They're not able to interact with others. They have trigger points that might, cause them to say things, do things, or reach aggression levels that they normally don't do. Those are some of the things that you may have or experience.
Okay, that's it.
Hey, perfect timing. That's good.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up. I want to respect your time, Jam and Elle. Thank you so much for coming out and contributing today. I couldn't do this without you guys, really. I mean, this is awesome. Shout out to Jam and Elle.
Welcome, and remember
You're
to
welcome.
sign up your membership. So if you want to have a conversation with us, the best way to do that is to become a member.
Right on.
No.
Jam, you put the link in the chat for people?
Yep.
Okay, great. We'll be back next week.
Until next week.
For the next show. Thank you, everybody. Make it a great day.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye, guys. Thank
everyone.
you.